Garlic is a very potent antibiotic. In fact, the research is showing is 6 times more powerful than tetracycline, and that's a common antibiotic. To use it as an antibiotic, you would need probably about 3 of those a day.
Doesn't it become suffocating to have to visit a pharmacy every time you experience a minor health inconvenience? You feel so dependent and chained by these medicines that you are now at a point where you can't even think of a way other than asking the doctor what to do if you get a cough. What if we told you that there is a world of natural remedies just lying in your kitchen, begging to be used? So get up, guys, because in today's video, we are going to tell you the 5 natural remedies that work like magic, according to Barbara O'Neill. Number 5. Alternating hot and cold therapy. Conditions like tissue inflammation, conjunctivitis, and cellulitis are very common and can cause visits to the doctor. But what if we told you that the cure is lying there in your kitchen? The magical natural remedy for these inconveniences is water and some grated potato poultices. Barbara O'Neill explained this very simple but mind-blowingly powerful treatment to us. First, we need to create a potato poultice. You need to grate a potato and wrap it in a cloth. The potato's cooling properties make it ideal for reducing inflammation and drawing out impurities. This method can be used for various ailments, such as treating ingrown toenails, splinters, and other minor wounds. So, where can it be used? You have a sprained ankle which involves tissue inflammation? Well, don't run to the doctor. Go to your kitchen instead. Potato poultices combined with hot and cold therapy can greatly help soothe inflammation. They can also relieve the discomfort of conjunctivitis or soothe red and bloodshot eyes caused by prolonged welding.
If someone's been welding, sometimes if they've been welding all day, at the end of the day they'll have really red bloodshot eyes. This can be great for that. It's very soothing and very cooling.
These are not just made-up facts. O'Neill tells us a story of a 7-year-old boy who was suffering from cellulitis in his finger. Even though he was on his 2nd course of antibiotics, and he was even taking sleeping tablets and painkillers, the boy was still whimpering from pain. O'Neill decided to try a different approach, where she dipped the boy's finger in hot and cold water to stimulate blood flow and bring fresh blood to the area.
And I put his finger in the hot as what he could bear, and then in the cold. See, the alternating hot and colds, I think we talked about this earlier, it brings a massive amount of blood to the area. So your blood's the healer. The blood has oxygen, it has nutrients, it has white blood cells, and it carries away the waste.
After just 3 rounds of his fingers being dipped in hot water for 3 minutes, and then in cold water for 30 seconds, all of the boy's pain went away, and the boy left Barbara with a cute smile. She then applied a grated potato poultice and secured it with a bandage. It was so effective that only the next morning did the boy's finger return to its normal size, and he no longer needed painkillers or sleeping tablets. Number 4. Castor Oil Compress. Now that we have talked about so many of the great medicines and remedies that you can make at home, it's time to kick up a gear because now what we are going to talk about is not a remedy, but it's almost like an elixir. What is the use of castor oil compress? If you have joint pain or some sort of inflammation, muscle soreness or strains, menstrual cramps, digestive issues, liver detoxification, problems with cysts and fibroids, skin conditions, or even respiratory issues, all you need to do is to find some castor oil. These are not even all the problems it can fight against. There are many, many more. But let's just talk about how well you can use it. Castor oil is so popular because of its insane penetrating ability. It not only acts as a syrupy substance, but also as a healing potion.
Now, castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever castor oil penetrates, it breaks up lumps, bumps, congestion, adhesion. It will break up a bone spur.
This is so effective that it can also tackle long-standing bone spurs, or cysts, fibroids, and joint issues, but only if you are being good and applying it consistently. It doesn't matter how long it takes. May it even take days or months, you need to be patient and believe in its magic. Barbara says that if a bone spur has been there for 3 years, then it will take 3 months of consistency. And if it has been there for 3 weeks, then it will just take 3 days. So it all depends upon how long it has been there. Another thing you need to know is that this remedy can only be applied externally, so don't try to eat it or you will severely damage your insides. You also need to remember that the bandage is necessary because it acts like a vehicle and brings the castor oil to your body. This remedy is so effective that a woman came up to Barbara and told her how she conquered breast cancer through a castor oil compress.
I met a lady who told me she'd conquered her breast cancer by castor oil, wearing the castor oil compresses.
And there was another girl who cured her fibroid uterus through this treatment.
In fact, one young girl I knew had a fibroid in her uterus. They wanted to operate, but she wanted to do it naturally. So she took the anise wild, or applied the anise wild yam cream to get the estrogen down, and applied the castor oil compresses to her abdomen.
Number 3, cayenne pepper. People in today's time are smart enough to know that they can't always rely on synthetic medicines, because most of them will give you more side effects than you can manage. So here's another magical remedy that involves cayenne pepper, which is known for its many health benefits. Let's give this over to Barbara so that she can explain it better.
What I'd like to look at now is cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a remarkable herb. Cayenne pepper is a blood mover.
Cayenne pepper can be used both internally and externally. It helps the body treat many health issues, and if you take it internally, it will also help cure a sore throat. Barbara explains that you might think that cayenne pepper is the last thing you want to take if you have a sore throat. If you take it, yes, it'll tingle, but when the itch settles down within a couple of minutes, you'll find that the sore throat has been relieved. Cayenne pepper is also like a magical herb for individuals with low hydrochloric acid, which can cause bloating.
Someone's has a lot of bloating, that can be low hydrochloric acid. See, this will wake anything up. Internally, out of the gut and into the blood, it thins the blood.
Another bonus of this is that it strengthens arterial walls and acts as a blood thinner, which is particularly useful for people who are recovering from strokes or heart attacks.
It's a great additive to people who've had a stroke or who've had a heart attack. They're often put on blood thinners, no need for blood thinners. You can take the cayenne pepper.
Barbara recommended starting with a 1/4 teaspoon in a little water 3 times a day, and gradually increasing it to 1/2 teaspoon 3 times a day. For people who find it difficult to consume, capsules can be used instead. This thing will blow your mind when you know its effects on your external body. It can be used to stop bleeding from cuts and even prevent infections.
If someone's had a cut and you sprinkle that into the cut, it'll stop the bleeding, and it can even help to pull the cut together.
While it's true that serious cuts may require stitches, it's still a handy thing to have as a first aid tool. If you think that's all, then buckle up because there is more where that came from. Did you guys know that cayenne pepper is also effective in addressing peripheral neuropathy? It's a common side effect of chemotherapy, where patients lose feeling in their feet. Barbara shared one event where one man said to her that he couldn't feel his feet, but when he goes to bed at night, it feels like 2 rocks are hanging on the end of his legs. It was so uncomfortable for him. So, to ease this discomfort, cayenne pepper compresses can be used on the bottom of the feet.
Make the cayenne pepper compress. We fold up a piece of cling wrap a few times, about the size of the bottom of the foot, and we fold over a couple of layers of kitchen paper.
Number 2, comfrey. Coming in number 2 is the magic herb called comfrey, and it's an amazing blessing on us all. Its effects are so vast and easy to use that it has been around for many, many centuries because of its remarkable and riveted healing powers. It's so strong that its properties earned it the nickname of knit bone, because practically it knits bones, mend fractures, tendons, ligaments, and tissues. So something like comfrey is going to be indispensable in the medical practices in the centuries to come as well.
Comfrey is a remarkable herb, and comfrey has a growth stimulant, so don't put it in your garden. It will just take over because it's got a growth stimulant.
She tells us that there are many misconceptions about how comfrey is unsafe to use and potentially toxic. She debunks this by telling us that on farms, countless cows and sheep consume it unknowingly but are as fit as they come, and we will explain that in detail later on. She also shares that comfrey naturally has a growth stimulant, so it doesn't matter where you apply it. It's going to heal you rapidly.
Now, comfrey contains a growth stimulant, so wherever you apply comfrey, it's going to stimulate rapid healing.
She also explains the use of comfrey, as it is different in different seasons. In summer, when it is growing, the healing properties are very potent in the new leaves, but they'll go down the roots as soon as winter arrives. So that is how they should be used. Leaves in summer and roots in winter. She shared how some absurd messages have been coming out through the media that say that comfrey is dangerous and that it will cause liver damage. Barbara says it's all a lie, and then shares a story of a farmer who bought an old female cow. That cow was old, and she could hardly walk, and he was going to experiment on this old cow because the cow was going to die anyway. So all the farmer did was give the cow comfrey leaves, and he waited and recorded the process. He was amazed to see that the more it ate, the more it got stronger and bigger. She started running around the farm and even started to produce milk, and he said that the cream on that milk was about a third of the milk. He just experimented to learn about the liver damage comfrey dose, but he was shocked to see the results this experiment produced.
See, they say that comfrey will cause liver damage. That's all this cow ate. Didn't even eat any grass, just the comfrey. Incredible experiment.
Barbara also talked about the effects of comfrey on the human body. She shared a healing story of a 56-year-old Katie who suffered a nasty leg fracture that included her tibia and fibula. At first, the doctor said that it was simply inoperable because of how badly she had broken it, and that's where comfrey comes in. When Katie's husband got frustrated, he wanted at least some way to help his wife, so they used comfrey root poultices. It was prepared with its natural lubricating properties, so they applied the poultice directly to the fractures. After just a couple of weeks, Katie's bones healed extraordinarily. She went from being bedridden to walking with crutches, and finally, they saw her running within 3 months, and it was all thanks to the magical abilities of comfrey.
6 weeks she started to walk with crutches, and then I think it was another 2 weeks and she started gingerly walk with a walking frame, and it was probably about 3 months and she was running.
Number 1. Charcoal. We understand that in today's world, natural remedies are gaining extreme popularity as people want no games when they involve their health. They want safe and effective alternatives to pharmaceutical treatments. So, what stands at the peak of natural remedies? Is it cayenne pepper, mashed potato, or ginger garlic? Well, they all are good, but none of them can come close to the beneficial powers of natural activated charcoal. It acts like the most magical remedy because of its unique ability to absorb and neutralize poisons. It's so effective that you can find it in many skincare products and other huge processes. This characteristic of charcoal makes it invaluable in treating a huge number of conditions, both internally and externally. As Barbara O'Neill says,
the next one we're going to look at is charcoal. Charcoal is unique in that it absorbs and neutralizes poisons.
Charcoal's working principle is unique as it works by the process of adsorption. Barbara explained that if she had a dry sponge and put it in water, it'd absorb the water. So what charcoal does is absorb the poisons and neutralize them. And the word for this process is adsorb. So because of this, activated charcoal becomes an essential tool in emergency medicine. For example, in a case where patients are suffering from some kind of overdose, they are often given charcoal in hospitals because it absorbs the poison and neutralizes it. So this proves that it is safe enough to pass through the gastrointestinal tract. Even if you ignore medical emergencies, activated charcoal still has a wide range of applications. Barbara mentions that it is used in blood dialysis, NASA's air and water filtration systems, and even in many masks because of its ability to absorb and neutralize poisons. This versatility of charcoal just makes it a staple in both traditional and modern medicine. It's not like in order to find its use, you are needed to be a part of NASA or you need to be poisoned. Activated charcoal has more than enough uses at home. Barbara is kind enough to share a practical and mess-free method to prepare a charcoal poultice, and this remedy is way too effective for treating external injuries like snake bites, bee stings, spider bites, and tick bites. To make the poultice, you need to mix activated charcoal with psyllium husks in a plastic bag, she says.
So you put about equal charcoal and psyllium husks in there. And now you quickly put the lid on because it's messy stuff.
In the next step, you will have to add water to the mixture so that it is confirmed that the charcoal and psyllium blend well. Barbara says that you just need to massage that because, as we all know, when you put psyllium with water, it goes like a soft jelly. And when you put water with charcoal, it's like mixing dirt and water. It doesn't mix very well. So, what she means is that this mixture should form a soft, jelly-like consistency. Once the mixture is ready, you need to start pressing it out into a thin gel square within the bag. This method keeps the process clean and easy. She explained that she could just put that mixture in the fridge or put it in the freezer. If someone's got a bee sting or a spider bite, she would quickly get this mixture out and cut the square for the size that she needs. By this method, you can save as much charcoal as possible because the poultice can be applied directly to the affected area with the plastic side facing outwards. Other than that, the reason why she puts the poultice in the freezer is that when you use it, it has the added benefit of providing a soothing cold compress for painful stings or bites. Barbara said that.
And if someone's in pain, that's very quick. And you can freeze it because being psyllium, obviously, if you keep it in the fridge for too long, it could go moldy.
Well, there you have it. These were just some of the natural remedies that work like magic. Don't forget to tell us what you think of the video in the comment section. And if you want more stuff like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.